people are very concerned with regard to South Africa.
U.S. President Donald Trump confronted South African President Cyril Ramaphosa at the White House on Wednesday with allegations of mass killings and land seizures from white people.
But we have many people that feel they're being persecuted, and they're coming to the United States. So we take from many locations if we feel there's persecution or genocide going on. Generally, they're white farmers, and they're fleeing South Africa.
South Africa rejects the allegation that white people are disproportionately targeted by crime.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately, through criminal activity are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now been utilized.
The farmers are not black.
You are raising concerns, and these are concerns that we are willing to talk to you about.
Ramaphosa arrived saying he wanted to discuss trade and critical minerals. The televised Oval Office meeting got off to a cordial start.
What a group of golfers South Africa's had on their own.
But then took a turn in a scene reminiscent of Trump's February ambush of Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky.
You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. Turn the lights down.
On Wednesday, Trump showed a video and held up printed articles purporting to show evidence to back up his unfounded claims that white South Africans are being persecuted. Ramaphosa said he had not seen the video before and that he would like to find out what the location was. South Africa endured centuries of draconian discrimination against black people during colonialism and apartheid before becoming a multi-party democracy in 1994 under Nelson Mandela. It rejects Trump's allegations.
I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me.
In recent months, Trump has criticized a new land reform law aimed at redressing the injustices of apartheid. The law allows for expropriations without compensation when in the public interest. For example, if land is lying fallow. No such expropriation has taken place, and any order can be challenged in court. Trump has also criticized South Africa's genocide court case against Israel. Trump has canceled aid, expelled South Africa's ambassador, and offered refuge to white minority Afrikaners based on racial discrimination claims Pretoria says are baseless.
In fact, the reality of violent crime in South Africa is that white South Africans are significantly less likely to be victims of violent crime. And that's true whether they live on farms or whether they live in cities or suburban areas. The modal victim of violent crime in South Africa is a black person. And in fact, we can see this in any number of police statistics, both provided by the South African Police Service and international observers. So it's not widely accepted. It's not even widely accepted by the groups that have been most at the forefront of this campaign trying to get the attention of policymakers abroad. So groups like AfriForum, groups like the Urania movement have explicitly said they are not out here propagating a narrative of white genocide. When we see the white genocide talking point, it primarily comes from either paramilitary groups in South Africa or international activists. Most famously, probably, and most publicly, Elon Musk has been a major proponent of this. And we saw this in not only his own personal statements, but allegations that he manipulated the Grok algorithm to sort of foreground this narrative of white genocide. But it is not actually something that people in South Africa take seriously at all. Because if you notice, he went immediately from talking about Afrikaner refugees to talking about the United States southern border. In many ways, the argument that is being made is about South Africa, but primarily actually about immigration in the United States. It is harmonizing with the Great Replacement theory. It is harmonizing with the idea of the imminent threat that is posed by multicultural, multiracial democracies. And so, although a lot of people say, why in the world does anybody in this administration care about this tiny minority of people from South Africa? I think that what is happening is primarily actually about immigration in the United States and not actually about South African domestic politics.
I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But, Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it.
Sure.
And we have documentaries, we have news stories, and that. Is Natalie here, somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things, and it has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would, and turn the lights down, and just put this on, it's right behind you, Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land.
These are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. Horrible death.
The issue of whether what he terms as genocide can be equated to the struggle. And of course it cannot, because there is just no genocide in South Africa. And of course it is an issue of how one looks. The issue of whether what he terms as genocide can be equated to the struggle. And of course it cannot, because there is just no genocide in South Africa. And of course it is an issue of how one looks at it. In this case, we cannot equate what is alleged to be genocide to what we went through in the struggle, because people were killed because of the oppression that was taking place in our country. So you cannot equate that.